Alright everybody, welcome back to another One Dream Fishing Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about our personal best bass, the biggest bass we've caught, and we're going to be talking about the giant bass that we all chase after and how we caught those fish and these memories that we're holding on to. So Mark, you want to start us off today?
I'll go first. Alright, so my personal best bass came off of Lake Palestine, which is right by Tyler, Texas, for those of y'all who do not know. And I was actually out fishing by myself. I was out in my boat, and I was just like, I was going to just graph around. That was my goal for the day, was just to graph around and find something offshore that I didn't know was already at that lake. Because that's me and Reese's home lake, like we know a lot about it. And after I've been graphing for a couple hours, I came across this tire reef on this big underwater point that I didn't know was there. And I thought I saw a couple fish on it, so I threw the trolling motor down, spot locked, and I started casting a football jig. And I wasn't really getting bit, and I told myself there's actually fish like schooling up, like blowing up on the bank. And I was like, alright, I'm going to cast one more time off of this, on this tire reef, and then I'm going to go shallow for the rest of the day. And I was dragging right over the tires, and all of a sudden just dunk, it smoked it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a giant. So I'm by myself, the net's back here on the boat, and I get this fish like up to the boat, and I'm freaking out. I'm down on my knees. I grab the net, and I net this fish like this by myself. And I won't forget, there was a guy going by about 50 yards in a John boat. And he was just watching me the whole time. I got that fish up and I was like, yeah! And he was like, yeah! And he started clapping for me. And I thought it was a 10-pounder because it was the biggest fish I've ever seen. But I ended up weighing it, put it on the scale, and it went 8.7, almost 9 pounds. And I called Reese because I couldn't get a good picture of it. I tried to set my phone up. I didn't have a camera on the boat, and I tried to set my phone up and try to get a good picture, but it wasn't working out. So I called Reese. I was like, Reese, get out here, dude. I just caught a freaking giant. And he's like, what? Okay, on my way.
I was literally Mark invited me out on the lake, and I had been fishing for the past 2 days. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm going to just take it easy today. And so I'm like I'm falling asleep on the couch, and he calls me. I'm like half asleep. I'm like, dude, what is it, man? Yeah. Dude, I caught a 10-pounder. And I'm like, what? And so I'm like freaking out. I'm like, send me a picture. And so he sends me one, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go see this. I really wanted him to get a good picture, so yeah. I drove out there and I met him, and holy cow, dude, that thing was fat. Freaked me out.
Yeah, we actually got a video and some pictures we'll roll in here. We actually got the video of the release and everything, so I'll check this out. Alright, out here on Palestine, got the new PB.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
Freaking giant.
Heck yeah.
Alright, get a release on her. Alright, baby. Ready to go? She's ready.
She goes. God. Heck yeah, dude. Who's next?
Oh, let's go. Alright, so that's my big bass story. This actually happened just a couple months ago in 2019. So it was super fun, awesome, memorable catch. So, Reese, your turn.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to start. Mine's not as recent as Mark's. It's unofficial, so yeah. I have no idea how big this fish was, but little me estimated it about 9.5 pounds. But so this happened when, how old do you think we were? 10, 11?
We were in like 5th grade.
So what was that? Probably 12 years old.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that age. And so I lived in this community, and there's 3 decent sized lakes on there, and we're young, so we just would walk down a couple miles and go fish off the bank. And so my go-to bait when I was that age was a cherry seed power worm on a Texas rig. And so we roll up to this spot, and I'm just dragging the shallow grass. And so there's a dock over to the left, and Mark's just sitting on that dock. And so I swing on this fish, and this fish comes out of the water and just clears the water, and it lands in the water. And Mark's over there on the dock, and he's like, was that a branch? Like, he thought a freaking tree fell in the water.
I thought he was just messing with me. I thought he threw a tree in the water.
And so, I mean, because we do that all the time. We literally throw rocks in the water to freak each other out. And so, I reeled this fish in, and I mean, I was losing my mind. That thing was bigger than me.
Yeah, little Reese was tiny back then.
And so, yeah, we didn't have a scale or anything, and so I think we estimated about 9.5 pounds.
Yeah.
We'll put a picture in.
You have a picture?
Yeah, I have it in here. And I mean,
little Reese.
It's an old picture, and you'll see how little I was. But it's a giant fish, and then also I'm gonna tell this story. It was actually yesterday out here in Toledo Bend. I caught a fish that could have been my PB, but she wasn't good at eating apparently.
Yeah.
So I caught a fish yesterday that was 26 inches long, and it had a gigantic head on it. I mean, it was all head, and then it was just like paper skin.
26
all the way
and a half inches long.
We'll roll a picture of it. It was not
it was,
on a good eating plan.
So that was pretty disheartening to see. I mean, it was awesome to catch that big of a fish, and
it weighed, what did it weigh?
7.8.
Yeah.
So.
And it literally had the head and the shoulders to weigh like 10, 12 pounds.
Wasn't the state record in Texas 26 inches?
It was 25 and a half. Which is an 18
18
pounder. And my fish was 26 and a half inches long.
Yeah.
And it was skinny. A fish that was over double mine was shorter than the one I just got.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Alright, Jacob.
Alright, so rolling into my PB. This was, I believe it was 2017. I was fishing the Big Bass Splash on Sam Rayburn, which, if y'all don't know, it is the biggest amateur bass fishing tournament there is. Usually out there on Sam Rayburn, you get anywhere from like 5,000 to 10,000 entries. So it is a massive tournament. And that was their anniversary tournament. So I believe that was the 25th anniversary tournament. It was 25th. And there's fishing out there. It's a 3-day tournament. First 2 days, nothing really happened that well. And then the third day rolled around. It was windy. It was blowing like 20 miles an hour. It was just cold. It was a miserable day. And how Big Bass Splash works is you have an hour before it even gets light outside. So when we were on a pattern of like flipping Senkos in different kind of brush, and they were all just kind of staging up on the shore. We weren't sure how that cold weather was going to affect it. So I was just going down the bank. I still had a headlamp on. I mean, it was like 6:20 in the morning. I'm going down the bank, and I flipped the Senko in, and it was just like a ting ting ting, like a little fish you would think. It bites like that. And then I'm like, all right, swung on it, and it just didn't move. I'm, oh my gosh, this is a giant. And I mean, I was maybe 10 yards away from it when I hooked it, and it was just, it really didn't fight. It didn't do much. It just kind of came up into the net, and there was probably around 5 boats around us, and I'll never forget it because I got it in the net. And there was a 9-pounder leading that tournament. I thought this was like a 10 or 11 pounder. I was like, yes, I'm leading. And for that tournament, the first place was, I think, an RV, a truck, a boat, and then $50,000. So I was ecstatic. Everyone in Sam Rayburn heard that I just caught that fish. But took it to weigh-in, and we waited for the bonus hour, which means you get double the payout if you get first place. So I took it in there and weighed 8.83 pounds. I ended up winning the hour, which got me a nice $3,000 check. But it's a pretty cool PB story. I caught it at literally the perfect time, and it just worked out great. I was able to actually buy my truck with that money. So it works out. If y'all haven't fished that tournament, that is one you have to. It is so big of stakes, but it's so fun. Basically, you just got to catch your PB on one of the days you're out there, which sometimes, obviously, it works out. So that was a really fun time.
Awesome. Well, y'all heard it here. That was all of our PBs. That was all of our biggest bass we've caught. So if y'all like this, if y'all want to hear more about us, any questions, or any more stories you want to hear, just leave a comment below. And as always,
and also for this video, leave your biggest fish you caught in the comments.
Yes.
Tell us the weights and what lake you caught them on. Kind of want to see the differences down there. And but Go ahead.
As always, thanks for watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next episode
Of One Dream Fishing.